Hi, it's Hans at happierman.com. Today's topic is do not limit your life. Um, this limiting is artificially limiting your life is a huge problem for men, uh, and it's evidenced by huge numbers of men having very little success and very little happiness. And the way this, and that's how it manifests, right? You limit your life by, there's many different ways to limit your life. A lot of it has to do with, well, I grew up, my family background is this, so that's about where I'm going to stay, or my abilities are such that that's as good as I can do, or I'm with this lady, I'm married to her, I have to stay, or I'm doing this job, I have to stay, right? In all of these cases, that's limiting, right? And I did this, and that's why I wanted to discuss it. So, regarding ladies, yes, I was married for 13 or 14 years. The last 3 or 4 or 5 years were just an absolute living nightmare for me. I detail all this in my book, Leave Your Wife and Become a Happier Man with a 3-Step System, available on the happierman.com website. Basically, she was verbally abusing me, and I was just tolerating it. I was limiting my life. When your partner, your spouse, starts to verbally abuse you today, you should leave today, right? They're not going to stop. So living under this pressure and this stress for years was extremely difficult and hard on me, and I don't want that for you. If your wife cannot treat you nicely with kindness and decency and respect, you have to unlimit your life and leave her. So that is the first. Your bad relationships will define your life into one of misery, and certainly, if not outright misery, it's going to be mediocre. It's going to be poor. You're not going to enjoy yourself. So do not limit your life in that way. Just because you're married doesn't mean you have to stay married. Marriage is a two-way street. You both should be in love. You both should be treating each other well. You both should have extreme happiness in the relationships. So if you're married and the limit is, I'm married, I'm not going to end the marriage. Well, that's a limit, right? That's an extreme limit. And, I had this for years, and it took me a long time to come to the realization that she's never going to nicen up. I have to take command of my life and leave and let the chips fall where they may. Meaning, I wasn't sure that I would have a great life after I left her, but I was sure I was having a horrible life while I was with her. So that's, let's say, the marriage trap or the marriage limit. And certainly couples do have wonderful lives together. It's not that all marriages are doomed to misery. Many of them are indescribably wonderful for the couples. Of course, some of those come on the second or third or fourth try, right? But again, those folks didn't limit their life by artificially saying that was it for me. Work. Some people get stuck in this rut of never being willing to get out of a job that isn't good for them. And I do think it isn't that bad for a younger person to take on different jobs and to kind of move around, to kind of see in with your first-hand experience what different employers are like, what different situations might entail, and that sometimes you're in a job and you don't realize how bad it is because you're in it, right? And you don't have enough of a background to have any understanding that you're totally limiting your life, that you could have something far, far better. So, yeah, I had a number of big career changes. It was all in the same field, civil engineering, but in different types of employment situations. And each of them had their advantages, and then all the ones prior, though, had like extreme disadvantages that I didn't really know about until I got in them. But I guess the point of all this is I didn't limit my life by just staying in one place. Some jobs I took, I couldn't even stay there a year. I had a couple of jobs like this where I thought they would be great. I started, they almost immediately turned terrible, and I almost immediately started trying to get out of it, right? I didn't limit my life in this way. Work, you work to earn your keep, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy it, and there shouldn't be some monetary reward, and there shouldn't be a good share of benefits to help your quality of life benefits to help your life. That's what you would want. And even if you work for yourself, it would be the same story. You may be working for yourself, and it may turn out that it's just not right for you, and you might have to swallow your pride and go to work for somebody else. Other ways you limit your life. Well, sometimes you get involved in things and you don't really like it, and you grow to hate it, but you stay involved with it. Let's say my biggest example of my youth was I played basketball in 7th and 8th grade, and then freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school. And I had, let's say, when I started all this, I guess I had high hopes that I would be a good basketball player and contribute to the team, and this never happened. I guess I don't have it's my own limit, right? But I could never get very good at it, and it was but the limit wasn't that I couldn't get good at it. The limit was I didn't like it, but I kept playing it even though I didn't want to be there. So finally, my senior year of high school, right before the season started, I quit. I didn't play my senior year of high school, and it was one of the best decisions of my life, was quitting this, even though the quitting itself was very, very difficult, right? Because I played all this time. I've had all the teammates. The coach was just livid with rage. I had to explain to my parents, and it was kind of a tough time in a young man's life. But it turned out to be one of the greatest things ever. It basically made my whole high school career extremely... I have good memories of high school because of the quitting basketball. I salvaged the rest of my senior year, and I had a great time, and a lot of great memories, and a lot of great experiences just because of quitting this basketball that I hated. So I didn't limit my life by saying, well, I'll just stick it out one more year. No. Don't stick it out. Do not stick it out. Do not limit your life. If something is wrong and you know it's wrong, end it. Like a marriage, like a job, like a sport you hate, like an activity you despise, like some club or something you're in that just takes up all your time, and you're not getting anything from it. Or habits or things that you do that you just, because you always do them. Your life is meant to be great. You are meant for happiness and abundance and adventure and peace and contentment and satisfaction. That's what you're meant for. You're not meant to tolerate. You're not meant to just gut it out and deal with things you don't want to do. So give that idea some thought, all for now.